Yo, what's up guys? Okay, so my last video was about making 300k off of NFTs or around 100 Ethereum. Now I didn't fully make 300k, you can watch the video for the full story. I had to split some with my team, but I made around like 58 Ethereum, which at the time was like 170k. So what did I do with that money? So that's kind of the story of today. It's the story of the Ohm ecosystem. So before diving into Ohm, the first thing that I actually did was I bought a Bong Bear NFT, which was 10 Ethereum, but I'm like extremely bullish on these and I'll touch on them at the end of this video when I talk about like passive income NFTs, which I'm extremely bullish on. But anyways, after I spent the 10 Ethereum for a Bong Bear NFT, I had around 45 Ethereum left, so maybe like 130k. So I was like, okay. And I'm just putting these numbers out there because it's just easier to talk about it, honestly. But anyways, I was like, okay, I have 130k. What do I do with this? My friend was telling me about Ohm, and he was like, dude, it's this coin that you buy and then you stake it, and it ends up yielding every 8 hours. It yields like 0.4%, and every 5 days that turns into 6%. And APY, the yearly yield, is literally like 8,000%. At the time of buying, it was like 7,200 or something like that, but now it's over 8,000. So I was like, obviously, dude, I need to learn about this. So I started learning about it, and it's nuts. So I wanted to tell you guys because, you know, if I'm making money here, I'm NASJAQ, I'm trying to make money, where the things in the future are and how we can make money off of that. So I figured I'd tell you guys. And I've convinced like 10 plus of my friends to get an Ohm, so might as well start telling you guys. Anyways, so essentially Ohm is Olympus DAO. And Olympus DAO is a DAO that's a decentralized autonomous organization. And so what they do is they have a protocol that they launched in March, and it's worked since then, but it's fairly new, but it's a new protocol. And to understand this protocol, you have to understand that SushiSwap, which is where you go to exchange coins, like you convert Ethereum into USDC. Typically these liquidity providers have paid whales fees for providing liquidity, but then over time, the protocols start giving them less fees. So then the whales like go away and go into a new ecosystem. And the liquidity is just highly unstable. Like it's not going to be there. You could get rugged. It's terrible. So what Ohm does is they have a treasury. And I'll explain how they get this treasury in a second. But what they do with this treasury is that they give liquidity to these swapping protocols. So they, instead of like paying for liquidity, like SushiSwap would pay whales for liquidity, they can just rent liquidity from Ohm, essentially. And Ohm, on every transaction, takes like a 3.3% fee. So that's how they make money, and then they give yields to people that are owning the coin. So how did they get this treasury? Well, first off, they got this treasury because every time you buy one Ohm, they buy one DAI. And one DAI is a stable coin that's worth like $1. They've added other coins. I think they have USDC. They hinted at add non-stable coins like Bitcoin and Ethereum, but they did a lot of stable coins. And they also have bonding protocols where if you bond, let's just say one DAI, you can get a discounted Ohm, okay? And it bonds over 5 days. Not the point. But the main point is that they're providing liquidity to these protocols, and then they're getting a 3.3% fee and then redistributing like those gains to token holders, essentially. Through redistributing gains, they're creating new coins. So Ohm is actually like inflationary. So if you look at it, it has like an Ohm index of 28. So that means that for every one Ohm at the beginning of Ohm when it was launched, right now there's 28 of them. But you're getting yield, so you're essentially compensated for this inflation. So I was running the numbers, and it turns out that like 6% every 5 days is just nuts. Essentially, if Ohm price went down by half in the time that I bought it, after a month, I would be break even, which is nuts. And so what I did was, and let's just say that the price stayed the same. I mean, I think it would like triple by December. So I took a lot of my money. I put that in Ohm. I was like, YOLO, let's go. Let's ape. Okay, so that's Ohm. This is not financial advice at all. This is me more telling a story than trying to like pitch something. This is just what I did. And, you know, so far it's worked out. I bought Ohm at around $700 per coin. And right now it is, I don't know, it's like, it was 1,300 at one point. And then I've also been yielding coins. And I've been in and out of Ohm, so I don't know my exact profits, but I'm very much so up. Okay, so this is the story of, okay. Fuck, I had something I wanted to say. Oh, and also, when I said that one of their coins is backed by one DAI, that's technically not exact. Like, it's not that the price is 700 and it's backed by one DAI. That's not exactly correct, because in reality, it's more like their treasury from all of their liquidity and everything where they've made money. They have a massive treasury, and that treasury actually provides a backing for the coin. And it's not backed in other coins, it's backed in stable coins backing the Ohm coin. And this turns out to be like $120 per coin is backing like the $700 to $1,000 price of the coin. So it's basically backing the coin. And this is unique because most protocols, like if you bought just, I don't know, the SushiSwap coin or something, it's denominated in SushiSwap. It's backed by SushiSwap. Like if SushiSwap goes down, it all goes down. But like if Ohm goes down, the DAI, the stable coin, it's a stable coin. It's still $1. So you still have a treasury that's backing $106.20 of each coin, something like that. So anyways, it's not just backed $1 per coin. It's a little bit more than that. So after making money in Ohm, what did I do next? Well, Klima was launching. So Klima is an Ohm fork. So what a fork means is they copied the code, they brought it onto a new network called Polygon. Ohm is on Ethereum, and they were trying out a new mechanism. So there have been a lot of Ohm forks lately that aren't doing anything new. They're just copying the code. But Klima was actually trying to do something new. So what Klima was doing is just how Ohm stores one DAI in their treasury, Klima is instead focused on storing carbon credits in their treasury. So instead of being backed by one DAI, every Klima coin is backed by one carbon credit. So the idea of this is that by sucking up all of the carbon credits in their treasury and then making them lower supply on the market in the real world, they're going to reduce the supply and drive up the price of carbon credits, which is nuts. Like, if this works, and it actually has been working, but like in the beginning, it was like, okay, this is kind of untested. Are they actually going to impact the supply? As of right now, 9 million carbon credits in their treasury last I saw, and carbon credits were previously selling at like $3, was the lowest price that I could buy them, and I'll get into that in a second. But now, like, you can't find anything under like $5.50 or so, $5.56. And yeah, I mean, the price is spiked for carbon credits, and that's great because it means that carbon emitting is more expensive and carbon sequestering is more profitable. So like carbon capture companies can sell their carbon credits for higher prices, make more money, and there's demand for the carbon credits too, not just companies wanting to offset their carbon emissions. The Klima is actually causing demand. I do hope Klima has stable coins in their treasuries and stuff like this instead of just the BCTs, and I do have concerns about just having BCTs, which I'll say really quickly. They're just, because they have to retire all of their carbon credits before bringing them on chain. So like, does this make them completely worthless because you can't resell those carbon credits? I don't know, but anyways. So I won the Golden Manny. I invested in Ohm. I bought a Bong Bear NFT, and then I, was looking at Klima. And about 2 weeks before the Klima launch, I was like, okay, if carbon credit price is going to spike up, why am I focused on buying Klima when I could buy carbon credits? So I learned that they were launching at an on-chain price of $10 per carbon credit. And I started like looking around with a whole team of people, and I ended up finding carbon credits for $7. So what I did was, I reached out, talked to companies like in boomer companies, like real world companies. And then I was like, hey, can I buy these carbon credits? Can you help me bring them on chain? They just had to change something in the metadata to do this. And then we had to cross this bridge called the Toucan Bridge. And it was like never been done before. It was a new protocol. They were launching that day, like Klima was. And so it was a whole stressful thing because we didn't know if we'd lose our carbon credits. But anyways, we ended up buying 6 figures worth of carbon credits at $7. Klima, was going to launch at $10. It turns out that Klima actually, because when they launched, they had low supply of carbon credits and the price completely spiked. So in the beginning, we were literally selling carbon credits for like $900. We didn't sell a ton of them, but, made some decent money. And then the price came down. It was like $20 and we were selling, but we thought it would keep going back up. It ended up going around to like $12. So, 7 to 12, perfect arbitrage. So that is how I arbitrage the carbon markets. And then I was like, okay, can I keep doing this? So I kept buying more. I kept repeating that. You know, I got some for $3, some for $4.5, some for $5 now because the price is going up. And anyway, so I think, you know, I must have made like 6 figs off that trade, honestly. And I'm just being like open with my numbers because I think it's interesting. I know David Dobrik was open with his numbers in the beginning and then he stopped. And like it also, you know, security concerns, but I have a hardware wallet and all this stuff. So anyways, it's cool though, because like I'm making money from crypto and it's fun and I want to tell my friends and you're my friends. So anyways, after Klima, after Ohm, after carbon arbitraging, now there's been these Ohm forks. So like this is not financial advice at all, but the Ohm forks have been like popping off. So like I have a bot that monitors new contract creations and I just, you know, there's these new Ohm forks, they start selling, liquidity's open, get in early, you get like a 5 to 10x and then you get out and it's like you're not adding value to the world really, but it's very fun. So don't try that at home though, because if you don't know what you're doing, you're gonna be too late, honestly. But so the third part of this video, and I know it's getting a little bit long, but I want to talk about passive income NFTs. And so this comes back to why I bought the Bong Bear, which is it's just so funny. I love these things. So the Bong Bear is an Ohm ecosystem NFT. And I think it's the coolest. There's a few others that I'll touch on, but I think Bong Bears is the coolest. Now, Bong Bears is really cool because when you buy one Bong Bear, so they have all these are the Genesis bears. There's only 100 of them. Now maybe like 125 or something because they minted some more, but that's all there's ever going to be. And so by owning one of these Genesis Bong Bears, you actually get airdropped new generations of bears. So it's like rebearing is kind of what I think about it. So similar to how Ohm gives you coins every 8 hours, this essentially gives you bears, you know, every few weeks or so. So what happens is there was the first generation called Bong Bears, and then there was the second generation called Bond Bears. And for every one Bong Bear that you had, you got one Bond Bear. And then there was a third generation called Boo Bears for Halloween. And the Bond Bears, obviously, for James Bond. So if you had one Bong Bear and one Bond Bear, you would actually get 2 Boo Bears, one for each of your bears. So there's going to be like 7 generations. And just by owning one of these Bong Bears, you're going to have like 64 NFTs by the end, something like that, which is nuts. And then you can obviously sell those if you want, or you can hold on to them. There might be bonuses for holding on to them. I don't know. You could resell them right now. But what's even cooler than this is like if you hold on to them with the mint fees that Bong Bears are getting and also like transaction fees on OpenSea, what I think they're doing, this is speculation, there's no confirmation or anything, but I think what's going to happen is they're putting this money that they're making from the fees into an Ohm pool. And I think what they're doing, they're going to take this money from the Ohm pool and then airdrop like Ohm to your wallet. So you're actually going to make money by owning these NFTs, which is so cool. And so actually, one NFT project already did this, which is called Income Finance. I'm much more bullish on Bong Bears, but I do own some Income Finance. And what they're doing is they're doing a 9-9 strategy where it's just an active management strategy for managing Ohm, and they take out some loans and stuff and buy more Ohm. It's this whole thing. But what they're doing is they're doing this and then redistributing profits to holders of the NFT. And I've made 0.3 Ohm or 0.4 Ohm from this, and like it's hardly worth the gas to even claim this Ohm. But I think over time, like this is going to grow. They're redistributing 33% of the profits. So I think that 66% that's remaining is going to grow and grow and grow. And so like I should be getting like 2 Ohm a month or something like that, which is $2,000 at current prices. So that'd be pretty sick. And obviously the Ohm that I get compounds over time. So anyways, I am super bullish on passive income NFTs just because I like, you know, it could just be a JPEG or it could be a JPEG that has social status and it also gives you revenue. So I think that's really sick. So I'm very bullish on these things. This was me just rambling about Ohm, Klima, and Bong Bears and Income Finance, and also Mushrooms is another one doing this. They're cool. They're going to do like spore drops, so they're mushrooms things. Anyways, this was another crypto video that I just wanted to share with you guys and let you know like what I'm doing. But what I'm looking at now, Parallel. I think Parallel game is cool. There's some other games. I don't know, but I don't want to shill any of these. I'm mostly just telling you the story of like bong bears and carbon arbitrage. And anyways, it's fun. I will see you guys tomorrow. I'm trying to make a video a day for YouTube because I want to get monetized. So comment for the algorithm. Like just comment. Be like, get my boy monetized. Why not? Or check out the podcast. I just posted a podcast with a startup that's crowdfunding a radiation shielding startup, which is pretty cool. So I'm like trying to do hard tech stuff, and I'm also playing in crypto. I'm just trying to have fun, man. That's all. Anyways, I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. Oh, and one last thing is that since I started telling you guys my numbers, essentially, I made that 45 Ethereum when it was at $3,000. That was worth like 130K after I bought the Bong Bear. And then now, I think my liquid net worth has like doubled. Like my liquid net worth has doubled. I am waiting on a few plays to come back in terms of returning liquidity that I invested in. And some of those should be another 6 figs, like both of them. Anyways, so making money in crypto. And the goal, as always, is I'm making money now so that I have money to invest in founders building the future. And hopefully, built by you guys. And I just want to invest in startups, and I want to own my fund. This way, I own 100% of my fund, and instead of like raising money from other people and then owning 20% of the gains, if I own my fund, I own 100% of the gains. Big moves. And as a creator, I can do this. So anyways, making money. So moving towards the goal. Okay, peace.